Friday morning on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio. We're broadcasting live from Wells Broadcasting House along Alafi Avenue, Oluyole Estate here in Ibadan, the capital of your state. What a significant day and what a great time to be alive. Happy New Month to you. Today is the first day in the month of May 2026. It's 01/05/2026. Great morning to you out there. Happy New Month to you once again. I pray that this new month would be that of greatness, favor, and of course, supernatural blessings of God. A month of fulfillment where you will enjoy every great thing that you have worked for from the beginning of the year roundabout, and full restoration of all that have been lost in the month of May. Amen. It's the fifth month of the year, and of course we're moving gradually with God being our anchor and our protector, even as we journey through our current situation in our nation, Nigeria. Once again, you're welcome to the show. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo. This is Perspectives Unlimited, the weekend edition, where we keep you abreast and take you through Nigeria, through the dailies, one after the other, especially surrounding, selected stories that time would permit us, to look at for the day. Once again, you're welcome to the program. We start with the front page story. And of course, right after that, we dive straight into in-depth analysis. Our analyst will definitely do justice by breaking down the stories for us, one after the other, so we can understand. The stories, yes, the stories, you can read them. All right, yes, you can. But of course, the analysis area is to help you dig deeper and even understand it better. Right after that, we open the phone lines for you to call us in and then share your own thought and perspective. It's not a one-size-fits-all from the analyst. You can, give your own view. This is what you think. And the goal eventually is that together we build Nigeria. Happy work as they do to all workers in the nation, Nigeria. Definitely it will be a great year and a great month for us all. Amen. Let's begin with the Punch newspaper for this morning. May Day, NLC, TUC lament rising insecurity and poverty. Airline struggle as losses hit 150 billion naira in 2 months. Mark-led ADC survives as Supreme Court voids Ibadan PDP convention. PDP throws into fresh uncertainty as camps clash over verdict. ADC celebrate Lifeline renews pressure to remove INEC boss. And that's all that we have on the Punch for today. Let's move on to the Nigerian Tribune. Ambode backs Hamzat as Lagos APC candidate. Jandor withdraws from the race. That you find on page 20 of the Nigerian Tribune. Bridge linking Kwara Oyo collapses on page 30. Tinubu nominates Tegbe as the Minister of Power, appoints Lanre Babalala as Special Advisor on Power. Now to the major story on the Nigerian Tribune. Supreme Court nullifies PDP Ibadan Convention void status quo addendum order on the ADC. 3 riders to the story. The first one says, returned leadership dispute for trial at the High Court. Wabara-led BOT says it has assumed leadership of the PDP. Supreme Court confirms PDP's unity ends factional crisis, says Wike. Rethink Labour Welfare Strategy, CPPE, urges the government. Women mega rally signal movement for participation to power, says the minister. Why ADC, Accord, ZLP, AA, APP should be deregistered, AGF tells the court. And finally, on the Tribune, NNPC completes $700 million OB3 gas pipeline River Niger crossing. The writer to the story says, designed to transport up to 2 billion standard cubic feet of gas per day. Now let's move on to the Vanguard. LCCI tasked the federal government on weak budget execution, delay in funds release. On page 14, Lagos 2027, 120 APC leaders sign Hamzat's governorship nomination form. On page 9, Tinubu mandates Gbajabiamila Masari to supervise the APC NAS primaries. The Supreme Court okays ADC's MAC axes the PDP's Turaki. Quite a number of rider. When you pick up a copy of the Vanguard today, you will find all the connecting stories and angles to that particular headline. On page 38, Remi Tinubu rolls out 1.2 billion 100 trucks for rice for vulnerable northern families. And on page 7, workers mark May Day in pains as Labour decries insecurity, poverty, and inflation. Obi to Tinubu borrowing for consumption is killer cancer. You find it on page 9. And that's all we can take on the front page this morning. We want to thank you for joining us once again on the program Perspectives Unlimited for today, this first day in the month of May 2026. We'll take a break now, and when we come back, right after the break, we dive straight into the conversation for this morning. Do stay with us.
Only a technical reform. It is a test of the state's humanity. In moments of fire, accident, robbery, medical emergency, flood, violence or panic, citizens do not need bureaucracy. They need response. They need to know one number to call, one system to trust, and one coordinated chain of action that moves quickly enough to save lives.
Council was briefed on the model, which is based on partnerships and collaborations with core respondents comprising the police, Federal Road Safety Corps, Fire Service, NSCDC, and SEMA. Of course, the ambulance services and technical backbone comprising the NCC and telecoms operators.
I'll start with the issue at hand, which is a very sad issue. Since my 6 years of public relations, this is my most difficult moment, because having an incident that cannot be explained is very difficult. There is no explanation for this. That policeman, I just don't get what I would say was wrong with him. Police cannot attribute problem to spirituality, but that may not be far from it, because that's the only explanation that one can give to what he did. When the 24th Commissioner of Police assumed duty as the CP Delta State, he had a stakeholders meeting where he advised park owners and courier, that's logistics company, on the need to search way bill before they allow it to fly, because drug peddlers and gun barons, that is armed peddlers too, they started transporting this thing through the means of way bill. So on Sunday, this young man came with a way bill. Having had that meeting with the CP, the park decided to check every way bill before they were allowed to go. On checking that particular way bill, they saw a Beretta pistol with 4 rounds of live ammunition. They quickly arrested the guy and tied him to his back and called the area commander, Efurun Area Command, who now mandated a team, a surveillance team, led by this ASP, to go and bring the suspect. The instruction was very clear. Go and bring the suspect. That was the instruction. So one would wonder why a suspect who is not a threat to you, a suspect who is already tied to his back, a suspect who was begging for his life, you tried to shoot him the first time, it did not work, you removed your magazine, arrange it again and shoot him for the second time. It is not explainable, it is not pardonable. And I want members of the public to know that the police does not cover officers like that. I'm very sure that guy will have his day in court and will face murder charges. I'm very sure. I will not speak for the top hierarchy of the force, but I'm certain that is the direction it is going, because as we speak, he left Asaba last night by night movement. They left Asaba to Benin to conclude his query, and they left Benin as at 8 p.m. yesterday going to Abuja. I believe as at this morning they're already in the force headquarters, because he will be dealt with. There is already an ongoing section of the force disciplinary committee that will handle his case, and I believe by the end of today we will hear the outcome of that section. So it is not something we can explain. He only knows, he's the only one that can explain why he did what he did, and he will use his head to carry what he has. The cross, the music he has started playing, like I've always been saying, he will dance to it, because that guy has a right to life.
You're welcome back to the program. Thank you once again for joining us on the program Perspectives Unlimited for this morning on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio, and on your state's #1 family radio station. Let's invite you officially to join us on our Facebook platform, facebook.com/Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. To be able to be a part of the program by watching us live on our Facebook page, you can watch and of course share your thought with us when it is time for you to share your perspective, and we will definitely take your thought from that platform. Chukwemeka Munachiso joins me in the studio this morning to help us understand, that's if he understands himself, some of the very funny situation that we have found ourselves in, especially with that of the killing of the young man in Delta State. Let me quickly also mention this morning that the goal of the program is not to make you feel bad or to destabilize you or to ensure that your day do not go as planned. Rather, this is just a piece of information to keep you abreast of what's happening in Nigeria. And like I love to say, you can then decide to, extract your prayer point from that while you're praying for the nation. So you know the specific things to speak to God about. And of course, as we march to the polls, you also understand the political terrain. And of course, you make the best and the best of decision. Usually, Mr. Olale Konsoni would be the analyst on the show, but for some reasons, he wasn't able to make it to the studio this morning. But all thanks to Chukwemeka. Thank you for joining us in the studio.
Thank you, Ayo.
Good morning. How are you doing? And happy new month to you.
Happy new month to you also. We thank God for the month of May.
Absolutely. It's been a while, you and I.
Yes, we have not.
But I mean, you are having a good time with Kunle, so you're not missing me.
No, I'm missing you.
All right. Let's start our conversation this morning. Usually on Fridays, we'll go back and recap and look at say one or two stories in the week. And this one is a very disturbing one. I saw the video. On the internet, and I couldn't put myself to finish watching that video, as I can't just understand why, when it's time for the festivities in this part of the world, say the Leia, as we usually call it in this part, and then the Christmas celebration, where it's almost inevitable to slaughter either a ram or chicken or goat, which of course we have control over by the grace of God, to be able to use them for such purposes. You also see human being, you shrink, because you're killing a lifeless, animal. And you also see how the animals also struggle for their life because they also don't want to die. And only for a human to look at another creature like himself and do that too. But aside from that conversation, the conversation of police brutality, I remember how we got to NSAS in 2020. This is 2026, 6 years after. And I'm sure that this policeman wasn't deaf, blind, to understand some of the issues that led to NSAS in 2026. And it brings back the worry of some of our policemen that you see at different checkpoints, stopping bike men and with guns in their hands. The fear of what next, or what exactly can they not do when they find themselves in areas where it feels like they are the superpower. And they are reporting to no one in some of the corners that we have around here. Tongues are wagging in Delta State as a brutal murder of a young man by the operatives of the Nigerian Police Force, Delta Command. The yet to be identified young man, and that's another conversation with the police. The police seem to, at the moment, be hiding the identity of the man in some of the footage that we've been seeing. And despite his hands being tied, and that's the man shot behind his back, and his repeated pleas for mercy, was allegedly shot and killed. And despite still being restrained and defenseless, eyewitness at the scene watched in horror as the police officer ignored his cries and shot at a close range. He may have been killed to cover a very sensitive piece of information. If not, why did they allow him to talk? And why were they in a hurry to kill him? Eyewitness said. The identity of the disease has not yet been established as at the time of this report written by the leadership. That's about 2 days ago. And the extent allegation against him remain unclear, which has stirred widespread condemnation. The disturbing incident at the Forum Area Command was captured on video and shared on Instagram. This was published a day ago by the leadership newspaper. And a while ago, I played the excerpt of the PRO, Bright Daffy, saying that the police cannot speak about spirituality, but that's probably what it is. Because he also, as the PRO, would not understand why you would shoot someone who is not armed, tied, his hands are tied to his back, his feet are tied together. And so he's not threatening you in any way. Why should you do that? Let's speak about the unending police brutality that we're seeing in Nigeria. What you see it at the local level, you see it at the state level, at the federal level. And here we are in the middle of the conversation of state police. It also brings up the fear. If the federal police seem not to, this unending killings, what becomes of state police also? Can the state government even handle its people if the federal cannot handle its own?
Ayo, let me tell you something, and I won't start from what played out in Efru in Delta State. The country has lost its conscience and its ability to be humane. All we are having now is beastly experience. It didn't start today. The country has gone off the tangent. A country where lives of citizens don't matter again has descended into a pit that it will take divine assistance to recover. Nigeria has lost its conscience totally. Ability to be reasonable, ability to remain humane, and what we are seeing in our life, in our country today, is beastly enthronement of dastardly killings in any way and in any form. How do you explain a situation where you are invited as a police officer? Somebody already tied. The civilians have already done the job for you. Identified the guy, tied him, and you came to demonstrate that you have power to kill. You shot him initially. He didn't. The bullet didn't go off. You took another magazine and you killed him. That guy has a lot to explain. If you ask me, that policeman knows a lot about where that guy got the gun.
That's your view here.
That's my view. He snuffed life out of him in order to cover up a lot of trails. It has happened before, Ayo. I think it was 2 years ago, where ships were arrested on the Niger Delta for carrying stolen crude oil. The army people that even caught this ship set it ablaze. Go and Google it, you see it. Why did they set it ablaze? Something that you would have used as exhibit was set ablaze. Why do you think they did that? Is it you and I that engage in oil bunkering? Nigeria is a crime scene. Why, until today, nobody has been able to explain to Nigerians why did the military set ablaze the ship caught with an oil bunkering business. They destroyed that ship. Femi Falana cried and said, why should they do that? Nobody has given Nigerians any explanation. So we are still towing the same line. Criminality all over the place, whereby when individuals that we talk are found, they will kill him. There was a case of what happened in Lagos. A young guy that went to write UTME. He was coming back home, and some people were robbing. He knew some of them. They went back and strangled the guy who went to write his UTME exam. Is it not the same thing? They strangled him. When they arrested him, said because the guy knew them. Ayo, and you think Nigeria has not lost its conscience? Lives here don't matter again. The authorities do not care who lives or who dies. You can die. Anybody can. And that's why police will tell you, I will kill you and nothing will happen. Look at what happened in Lagos. Look at what do you know it has happened at Monia? April 24. Police people, unauthorized stop and search, arrested an Okada guy. At Monia there, the guy had a seizure. They claimed it was epileptic seizure. And the guy collapsed. Before they took him to hospital, he died. Go and check a police outpost in Monia. The residents of that area, when they got a hint of what happened, they set it ablaze. Go and make inquiries. Police. And every evening, you see them at this Olusoji Bridge. What are they doing there? Stopping Okada people. Go to Kuala and see what happens in Kuala. Everywhere, it is a bazaar. Anybody can do anything because it seems that Nigeria is on a autopilot. Nothing is working. Everybody can kill anybody.
Let's talk about the unending police brutality and what you would expect. Like I said, at the moment, it feels like the Nigerian police force may, also be covering the identity of this policeman. While a lot of Nigerians, of course, if you go on social media, you find all kinds of reaction as to when this man was shot. He wasn't covered. Another conversation would be why. Yes, thank God for social media, but the gods of also recording, putting that on tape, and I don't know how it got on the internet, but why film the process? That's number one. And of course, that unending police brutality. What is the way forward?
Ayo, let me tell you something.
What is the way forward? This is not just peculiar to Delta. We have seen it all over the place. And so it's obvious that it's a thing with the system.
I will tell you.
How did we get here and what's the solution?
The system we operate in Nigeria is rotten. completely rotten, full of maggots of corruption.
Is it the same with the system in the Nigerian police force?
The system, I'm coming. Look at the people we throw up as politicians. Look at the people we throw up as leaders. Look at the people. Look at their antecedents. Go and check their background. How many of them are qualified to hold political offices in a country? How many of them? Go and check their records. Tell me one of them. You won't see one criminal record or the other. The system. Now, you come to police. How did they manage our recruitment processes? How do we recruit them? We go for the worst. Are they on substance? Who recommends them? How were they recruited? Can a normal child get up today and say, I want to be a policeman without having connections, and you'll be accepted based on the fact that he's qualified? He cannot be accepted.
So what you're saying is that most of the policemen we have got there by connection.
I'm coming. I'm not saying most of. I'm not saying all of them. All most of them are not qualified to be in a position where they will handle gun.
So that means the recruitment process is faulty. It is
faulty. Not like our leadership recruitment is absolutely faulty. I'm coming, Ayo. You made mention of is this what we are going to see in state police? No, we can't see that. You know why? This Nuhu, if you look at the background now, it's not coming from Delta State. It's not likely be from that area. When you recruit people within the same area, this kind of thing will not likely happen because they know you. They know your mother, they know your father, they know where you come from. You cannot kill your own people. So this is one of the reasons why people are calling for state police. You bring somebody from Zamfara and post him in Anambra State, he will go on a killing spree. What does he have to do with the people? Nothing. So if you bring people within the same locality, within the same terrain, that understand the same language and everything, and know the cultural picture of that area, they will not likely be killing people the way they like.
Likely be killing people.
Yes,
because
they will not.
I mean, this is a case of man-humanity to man. Hold on. I still personally believe that wherever you are from should not be a factor of whether because you're a human being. I am a human being. We might not be of the same culture, but that should not be a pass to killing such people.
Okay, we are not living in a developed society where people are developed. Nigerians are not. We are still primitive in our thinking. Our primitivity is still with us. You are talking of a responsible society where people have been trained to understand that human beings are human beings. But in a society like Nigeria, where we are still primitive in our thinking, we think traditionally, we think primitively, we look at another person that, is not part of us. We are not, that thing has not been taken away from us. It's still part of us. That is why today in Nigeria, you will see people who know that this politician is not doing well, but because they are from the same area, they will still be supporting him. That's primitive thinking, traditional thinking, which has brought ruin to our country. Now, I'm coming. Look at the process from Asaba to Bini, from Bini to Abuja. If police system is decentralized, do you think this journey will be necessary?
You know what? Let's take a break. I'll hold your thought there for a moment. Let's pay some views. When we come back, right after the break, we're still going to look at that particular story. It's a hot one, and Nigerians would definitely like to hear the end of that conversation. We'll be right back in a moment. Stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Let me guess, you enjoy talking. You always have something to say. And somehow, people actually enjoy listening to you. So why are you not on radio yet? What are you waiting for? Wells Radio Media Academy is giving you the perfect opportunity to become a certified broadcaster in just 6 weeks. You'll get hands-on studio experience, learn from industry professionals, and understand what it takes to actually own the mic. From radio presentation to news writing to public speaking and social media, everything you need all in one place. Admission is in progress right now as resumption is on the 18th of May 2026. Admission form is available for just 5,000 naira only. This is not one of those maybe someday opportunities. This is now. Don't just sit back and listen to other people shine. Step up and let your voice be heard. For further inquiries, call 0706 840 7359 or 0803 509 3394. Begin your journey to becoming a certified broadcaster today.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour. I am so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data.
Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service.
One Data?
Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Are you hungry for something delicious? Food that feels like home but tastes like pure luxury? Then welcome to Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile. From our smoky jollof to rich ofada sauce to a variety of delicious soups like egusi, eforiro, and more, paired with your favorite proteins and hot, freshly made swallows, all made for you to enjoy. We also handle bulk orders in liters, fresh and ready whenever you need it. We deliver it to your doorstep. At Honeydew, it's not just the food, it's the feel. With our beautiful ambience, perfect for your romantic dates, family outings, or your quiet, relaxing evening escape. Join us every last Friday of the month at 7 p.m. for karaoke night with Jayola and enjoy music, games, food, drinks, and free mocktails and cocktails as you sing your hearts out. Visit us at Plot 42, Block 8, Alaafin Avenue, beside Wells Radio, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. For your doorstep delivery or inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0814-691-6635, 0814-691-6635. Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on this website: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, 0707-338-4828, SEC 0209-462-1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
I'll start with the issue at hand, which is a very sad issue. Since my 6 years of public relations, this is my most difficult moment, because having an incident that cannot be explained is very difficult. There is no explanation for this. That policeman, I just don't get what I would say was wrong with him. You know, police cannot attribute problem to spirituality, but that may not be far from it, because that's the only explanation that one can give to what he did. When the 24th Commissioner of Police assumed duty as the CP Delta State, he had a stakeholders meeting where he advised park owners and courier, that's logistics company, on the need to search way bill before they allow it to fly, because drug peddlers and gun barons, that is armed peddlers too, they started transporting this thing through the means of way bill. So on Sunday, this young man came with a way bill. Having had that meeting with the CP, the park decided to check every way bill before they were allowed to go. On checking that particular way bill, they saw a Beretta pistol with 4 rounds of live ammunition. They quickly arrested the guy and tied him to his back. and called the area commander Efurun Area Command, who now mandated a team, a surveillance team, led by this ASP, to go and bring the suspect. The instruction was very clear. Go and bring the suspect. That was the instruction. So one would wonder why a suspect who is not a threat to you, a suspect who is already tied to his back, a suspect who was begging for his life, you try to shoot him the first time, it did not work, you remove your magazine, arrange it again and shoot him for the second time. It is not explainable, it is not pardonable. And I want members of the public to know that the police does not cover officers like that. I'm very sure that guy will have his day in court and will face murder charges. I'm very sure. I will not speak for the top hierarchy of the force, but I'm certain that is the direction it is going, because as we speak, he left Asaba last night by night movement. They left Asaba to Benin to conclude his query, and they left Benin as at 8 p.m. yesterday going to Abuja. I believe as at this morning they're already in the force headquarters, because he will be dealt with. There is already an ongoing section of the force disciplinary committee that will handle his case, and I believe by the end of today we will hear the outcome of that section. So,
all right, you're welcome back to the program Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. I'm going to open the studio lines now and then allow Chukwemeka complete his thought on this, killing in Delta State. 0916-893-1000 and 0915-334-893 and 0911-333-893. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. George. Thank you for calling.
Yeah. Ayo, this is George from Ologbo.
Yes. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Fine.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Happy New Month.
Happy New Month to you. Happy New Month, sir.
And I thank you for the work you are doing.
You're welcome, sir.
You see, 3 days, how many days ago, I was waiting in the house here from what happened in in Ekwara. This one that just came now, since yesterday I'm not myself, haven't seen the video. I don't know where they are taking us to. These guys, the meaning of his name is, I am looking up to God. Okay, and then mean that I am looking up to God. That's the meaning of his name. What has he done wrong for this man to kill him the way he has just killed him? This country, I don't know which area are we talking about now that is going where? Chukwemeka, you are not far away from the truth. This man, they know why they have to kill that guy, to cover up what we're supposed to know. And with his death, we don't even know whether we are going to ever get the truth about the whole thing. We have a saying that a messenger cannot be killed for the message they send him. The guy said, I know the person who sent me to collect this thing, and I will take you to him. Who will now lead us to that man? How do we get to know who sent that person? I pray that God will strengthen this country and help us to get good leaders.
Amen.
God bless you all.
Thank you, Mr. George. Let's hope that investigation would be done. I know that, all over social media, the speculation is that the policeman knows about it. While our human instinct and our emotions will, channel us in that direction, we still do not have the fact that whether he truly knows about this particular gun or whatever. But let's await the investigation, hoping this time, because I can also understand why Nigerians will be in entire doubt of where this system is going to lead us.
How many Nigerians have trust in our so-called investigation? Tell me, do you still believe in investigation in this country? Do you believe in probe? Yeah, we will probe them. Have we ever seen the end result of any probe or any investigation? Look, Ayo, the mess things are getting messier. I told you about how some ships were arrested for oil bunkering, and the ships were set ablaze by the military. Up to today, what came out of the investigation? Did we hear anything about the investigation?
There will always be a first time.
I'm coming. The thing is that police people are right now, when you go to police station, you say police is your friend. Are they truly our friend? I am saying this morning because every evening you go to this bridge at Olusoji. The way they are standing there on all these Abese roads, you know that nobody sent them. The one that happened in Monia, nobody sent them. The one that, if you go to Kuala, it's a bazaar.
I mean,
Kuala, if you go to Kuala axis,
when we say nobody sent them,
nobody unauthorized stop and start. Even you see it,
could it have been from maybe their leadership internally?
If you look at them, they look edgy. They look so edgy. You know that this guy is operating illegally. They look edgy, and they go after Okada guys. That's why whenever you see Okada people are avoiding a particular route, you know that police people are there. What are they doing there?
All right. Let's quickly touch on other stories. Today is Workers' Day, and I'd like us to talk about Workers' Day. But before then, Nigeria gets a unified emergency number as NEC approves 112. The National Economic Council has approved the adoption of 112 as the national emergency number at levels and across relevant agencies as part of measures to strengthen Nigeria's emergency line and build the unified coordinated national response for emergency. The council also approved the establishment of a multi-agency implementation committee and program coordination led by the Vice President and the National Communications Commission. And so we have a new emergency number, 112. In the nation. Hopefully you will discuss that on Wazobia platform today. I mean, in developed nations, you can always call 911 and you will be very sure that you're going to get prompt response to any of the emergencies. So we have 112.
112. Ayo, sorry.
Yeah.
Let me just...
You want to say different?
Ayo, let me tell you something. Our problem is not emergency number.
But it's necessary at a time like this.
It's necessary. But if you can call these numbers millions of times and nobody respond to you, look, Ayo, our problem is fundamental.
You know what, Chukwemeka? I don't want us to look at the part that is not working.
No. But we have to look at something that
this is a new initiative. So let's just stay with. Hopefully, it's gonna work,
my brother.
And it will be progressive.
I'm praying it will work.
Yeah.
I am praying. Chukwemeka Munachiso is praying that these numbers will work. But as other numbers worked, that's the question. So what are we going to do to make sure that these numbers work? That's the question. The problem is fundamental. Look at Ayo. If you all these so-called care cost, is it what do they call it? Customer care lines. Do they work in Nigeria? They don't work. How many of them works?
But I mean, customer care for private would work.
How many of even the private ones? How many of them are working? Buy a recharge card now and have issue with it and dial the customer care line of that network. It will not work. Banks, their customer care, does it work? It doesn't work. The thing is a systematic failure of everything. That's why I'm advocating for rejigging of this country. It's not just to throw number about. What number? People will call this number, and even when they pick, they will even tell you, we have no fuel in our district. Can you look, Ayo, we have a problem that we must solve. I believe I love Nigeria, and this country must work. It is not throwing numbers around that is the issue. What will make us, because human beings will operate those numbers. People will operate it. These people that are going to operate, when you call, are they in a good frame of mind to even let the numbers work? The number will not operate itself. Nigerians are going to operate it, and we have a fundamental, we are disconnected from whatever. You know, this country, Ayo, is not just to give number. Human beings are going to operate it. Are they not Nigerians? Are we going to import people from Jupiter to operate the number? The ones we have, are they operating?
All right. I believe.
I believe in the number.
112.
But what I'm saying is that we must address the issues why other numbers did not work. This one, do we have trust in this one? Will it work? What are mechanisms put in place for this one to work? That's what I'm arriving at. Not that I hate the number.
All right. 112 is the new national emergency number. Nigerians, please do not flash the number or dial the number if you do not have any need for an emergency, because that again is also one of the issues when people start calling the number, just for the sake of calling numbers. It may eventually water down the issues, and maybe that may have also led us to why some of the other numbers didn't work. We have seen footages on social media, people calling social telecoms brands and putting our curses on them for no reason, right? And so maybe that may also be, so it's a national orientation challenge that we also need to work on ourselves.
Yes,
so please, the new number is 112. Do not flash the number. If you do not have a need for emergency, do not call the number. May Day is today, the 1st of May, and of course it's public holiday in our nation. Workers mark May Day in pains as labor decries insecurity, poverty, inflation. Nigeria workers today joined their counterpart across the world to mark May Day under the cloud of anxiety, frustration, and economic strain as the rising insecurity, deepening poverty, and persistent inflation continue to erode the value of labor and the dignity of work. Across sectors, from factories to farms and offices to informal markets, workers said the promise of a better life and renewed hope feels increasingly out of reach. Wages are being stretched thin by soaring food prices, transport costs, and the energy expense, while fears over personal safety and the job security weigh heavily on daily lives. Labor leaders echo these concerns, lamenting that they describe as a failing system where economic reforms have yet to translate into real relief for ordinary citizens. The president of the NLC, Joe Ajaero, on the day lamented the high level of insecurity, poverty, and hardship, and the devastation of the devaluation of the national currency, which he said had inflicted pains on the misery on citizens. Today's May Day, Workers' Day, and of course, you just heard the reaction and some of the words of the NLC chairman. You're the man of the street. What's it looking like on the street? Is it in tandem with some of the words and the description of Joe Ajaero here?
Joe Ajaero has explicitly explained the tempo and the rhythm in the street. But the issue is that NLC is also part of the problem. You understand? Okay.
Let's take this call very quickly. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Ichirewa.
Good morning, Benga Mario. You should be at home today. Happy holiday.
Yes, I'm at home. Happy holiday today to all workers in your state, to all workers in local states, to all workers in Nigeria at large. I want to say Happy Workers' Day to you all. But some questions are sacrosanct which I would like to ask.
All right.
Are workers truly enjoying the work they are doing? Are workers being remunerated or properly remunerated just to what they are doing? In the course of them discharging their duties, how far is the government treating the workers? It's another thing we have to talk about. It's all about Workers' Day, and it is one thing that the only thing that workers want, and they will appreciate so well, is that their welfare is being taken care of, because workers cannot be working and you are giving them stipends. Workers cannot be working, you are giving them minimum wage that cannot even take them down to the street, not talk of taking them down to their homes. Today we have some workers some sort of workers that are going on strike, which ought not to be. Today's workers, they ought to be happy, but now where are they? They are on strike today, even as we speak. So it's a clear call to our leaders, to our government, to please take workers' welfare as a priority in their heart. You cannot imagine a minister or a high-ranking politician living a larger life in which he's been taken care of. Whereas a worker will spend 5 years, and at the end of his work, you'll be giving him a stipend as a gratuity. Even as we speak today, we have some retirees that are not even collected. I have a sister who works in Lagos State who has not collected her pension since last year. She retired last year. She has not collected her pension, and she needed a medication of 30,000 naira just for her head. And she was even calling us to send her some money. And this is a woman who has worked for 35 years. And now the government has neglected them. How do you wish that person to enjoy being a worker? It is not too good. Government, please treat the active workers, treat them very well. And do our retirees, treat them very well. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Benga Mario. Thank you so much for calling us.
So the Workers' Day is the... Why I said that NLC is not NLC we used to know. You understand? So whatever workers are going through today, I think NLC contributed largely to it.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm coming.
How do you?
NLC,
How do you mean?
NLC.
What do you mean?
If you listen to NLC, if you were around in the days of Hassan Somonu, Pascal Bafuyao, and even Adam Soshomole, the former version of Adam Soshomole, the old version.
There are two versions.
There are two versions. The old version of Adam Soshomole. They held government responsible, accountable for so many things. But the present crop of leaders we have in NLC, I don't want to describe them. I don't want to say something concerning them that because if you look at their leadership, the quality of leadership, everything about them, you discover that they are not proactive enough to engage meaningfully with the government. They are not. They seem to be compromised, and they seem to not really be fully concerned about the welfare of workers. These people I mentioned their names, Hassan Sumunu, Pascal Bafuyao, they didn't care about their own welfare. They cared more about the welfare of people under them. But the present crop of so-called NLC we have right now, if you ask me, I will tell you that I don't think they care about the workers. Because how can you enter into a negotiation with the government? And the government went back on its word, and you didn't do anything. You kept quiet. And now you are coming. The workers, the money is not taken. How do you expect the money to take them home? Look, even if we are paid 1 million naira in Nigeria every month, with the level of inflation, headline inflation we have in Nigeria today, you can't buy anything. In fact, Ayo, workers in Nigeria survive by the special grace of God, not because of what they are paid. Because if you look at how much you collect and look at what you spend in a month, you discover that what you are spending is even more than what. But how do they come? You don't know. So it is not about Workers' Day is a day of lamentation, a day of so-called solidarity. Solidarity for what? They should not block any street and not do any parade. They should go home and rest and go back to the drawing board and put the house in order. But unfortunately, I don't think we will have good leadership in NLC like we had it in those olden days. I don't think so. Because those days, they were men. Men who will look government in the face and tell government the truth. They were not afraid of going to jail. But today, on your mandate, we stand.
All right, because of our time, I want to move very quickly and touch on politics. David Mark-led ADC survives the Supreme Court voids Ibadan PDP convention. The Supreme Court on Thursday delivered two major judgments that dramatically reshaped the internal battles in African Democratic Congress and the PDP. The Apex Court invalidated the PDP's controversial Ibadan convention while restoring the ADC leadership structure. Hours after the judgment, the key leaders of the PDP, including the governor of Oyo State and that of Bauchi, alongside members of the Board of Trustees and the NEC, held an emergency closed-door meeting in Abuja. The meeting, which was held at the Bauchi House in Asokoro, was ongoing as at the time of filing this report. The high-level meeting had in attendance the BOT, the National Assembly Caucus, the NEC, and other ESCOs. And the judgment delivered by the judge, the Apex Court, restored the ADC leadership and that of David Mark and Aregbe-Shola, and of course some of the issues going on in the PDP. Let me get your thought on this very quickly.
We expected, I knew from the onset that because of the high level of interest Nigerians showed in ADC matter, I knew that I don't think anybody in his right frame of mind would do otherwise. You understand? But PDP, I know that PDP is not PDP.
But is this judgment, a victory for Wiki, not for PDP?
It's not. It's not a victory for Wiki. PDP is a failure already. Wiki failed. PDP failed.
But I'm asking this question because if you look at it,
he may have his way. He may have had his way.
The Sheyi Makinde-led faction as against the Wiki-led faction, and we saw all of the back and forth of words. So that's why I'm asking: is this a victory for him in particular?
He may be gloating that is victory for him, but it's a loss for the party. The party he has finished the party. Nothing is working in the party. I don't think anybody in his right frame of mind will ever cast his vote for PDP. I'm sorry to say this, because they have torn into shreds. So he may be gloating that yes, I have won. You know, he loves to massage his ego. I make things happen. But at the end of the day, the party has been killed. Yeah, I see him as an undertaker of PDP. You understand? So PDP is not going to field anybody. Even if they field anybody, who will go and vote for unless the person, his family members will vote for him, and some of those people that can be giving money to go and say that PDP is dead, completely dead. So it's left for the other faction to know where to pitch their tent.
All right. Before we go, I'd like to, the Honorable Minister of Interior, not Interior now, that's Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, celebrates 44 years. And I would just like to quickly spot on the speed that we're getting with international passports lately, and the state of the airport and the composure of the immigration. I don't know if you've noticed anything lately. It has really improved, and I think it's worth commending at a point in time. I had people who traveled recently and sharing their experience at the international airport, both in Abuja and in Lagos. Before now, you see immigration men asking you for this, and some of the processes are even digital and seamless without even human contact. We've seen the minister walking into immigration offices and questioning them. Why is this not coming out in real time? And people get international passports in weeks now, Chukwemeka. You traveled to Ekiti too.
I went to Ekiti State to get my own.
I mean, it took me months back in the day. Well, and so seeing a new system.
This is what we are praying for.
And it's just 44 years. You know, this year it clocked 44. Don't you think this age thing may also be a factor to leadership in Nigeria?
Ayo is not age. Let's remove age from it. When people want to do something good, Nigerians are good.
Irrespective of your age.
Yes, it's in the system that is so corrupted. So when you put a good man in a place where he can imagine if this man knows something about power and you put him in power. Okay. Tegbe is now in charge of power.
I mean, not yet. Still,
not yet. Yes, I checked his background.
Nominee.
He said he has background in engineering. He has background in accounting. He has background in and I was beginning to wonder. I said, well, engineering can it work with the power? Because
power is also a form of engineering.
Fine. So let's
we're not just your area of engineering.
So let's hope that it will bring something new to power sector.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Chukwemeka.
Thank you for having me, Ayo.
All right, that's all we can take on the show for today. Join Agbeya Wirin Agbomagbe 1. It is 8 o'clock this morning to look at more stories in politics in Yoruba language. Up next is AM Sport. Lizette Femi-Oloyade standing by to take us round the world of sport. How are you doing? You're fine. Are you sure? All right. We see you. Join Chukwemeka tomorrow on the Roundtable, and of course on Monday on Perspectives Unlimited. Happy holidays, Nigeria. God bless you.
And do not necessarily reflect the views or opinion. Please listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Wells Radio 89.3 FM or its affiliated entities. Wells Radio 89.3 FM is committed to providing a platform for diverse perspectives and opinions, and the views expressed by guests on our programs are their personal viewpoints. Wells Radio 89.3 FM does not endorse or take responsibility for the content or opinions expressed by individual interviewees and callers. Thank you.